Welcome to the podcast, Tell 'em Tage, where we discuss ownership, entrepreneurship, balancing business and parenting, and change and growth. Most importantly, growth. I like to talk about motion, having motion. I like to interview people that I know were one way and they changed for the better, not for the worse, for the better, and took a different direction. And today here we have my guy B Woods, the barber. He works at Culture Number 2. He went to school at, I'll let him explain all of that. But I will say he's the youngest person that works for, he's the youngest male, the youngest barber that works for Culture that I have. So one of the least experienced, but one of the most consistent and one of the best barbers I have at Culture 2. So welcome to Tell 'em Tage podcast, Mr. B Woods, the barber.
I appreciate you.
Good to see you, brother.
Thank you, guys. So I'm B Woods, the barber. My real name's Brian.
You say your name is B Woods, the barber. So we'll start with the name first. Where do you come up with B Woods?
It's bad. I mean, all right. So I'm pretty sure, like the same as you've gone through a couple names, bro. Yeah. I was, hanging out with a couple crowds here and there, and like I just basically needed an alias. I needed an alias, and shoot, my first name's Bryant, starts with a B, and there was an artist, some guy named Roy Woods. He's actually like a really good artist. I think the way he holds himself up and his music, he was pretty versatile with it, and I think like the way he was on and off camera, it was just cool. He's signed by Drake, so he signed to OVO, but yeah. So some Canadian rapper. Yeah, that's where like the wood kind of came from, and like obviously, shoot, we were smoking backwards and all that, so it wasn't supposed to be like that, but I mean, it kind of was that. And then the Z is actually because both my last names end with a Z, so I just.
Oh, okay. You got two last names?
Yeah.
Nice.
And yeah, 6 letters, just like my name, so pretty dope.
Woods.
B Woods. Yep.
B Woods.
Just rolled with it.
How long you been barbering?
I probably picked up I wasn't really like barbering, but I was giving my friends like baby tapers with my dad's beard trimmers.
That's barbering.
With beard trimmers and like a little comb, man. I was just getting it for free. I was going to Maricosta College at 17, so around there. I bought my first pair of like real clippers at 18. And nice. I mean, it wasn't anything consistent at first, honestly, like, because it was free haircuts. Nobody really wanted me to mess their hair up. But yeah, I moved out the house. I literally at 18, like I just bounced, and all I had was my like box of clippers. I was probably cutting for like about a year. Like, just, like, whoever I was meeting, like, my homies, wherever I was staying. I lost my whole box of clippers. Literally, it was probably, like, 2,000 worth of stuff at a trap house. I lost it at the trap house. I left it there. And I just stopped cutting, bro. Like, because, like, back then, it was, like, $20 a cut. Like, 20.
Right.
Yeah, it really wasn't much, so I was just, like, whatever. But as I kept getting, like, coming in and out of jail, like, doing, like, little flashes and stuff, I was just done. I was like, yeah, bro, I got a real job, got a new pair of magic clippers, and I would say about, like, at 20, I started cutting again. So
20. What were you doing before you said you went to jail a few times, right?
Yeah, right.
And so, what were you say you got a real job. What was the real job?
It was my second real job. I started washing cars. Literally, like,
detailing cars.
Not even detailing. I was scrubbing cars. Like, yeah, just scrubbing cars. Like, I know a couple people from the streets. Like, they saw me there, and I was just like I was before it was like it was on and off. Like it's like it was still business. Like you got your good days, you got your bad days, but my good days were good. So like to just go back to that, it was like really like humbling, and like I just had to put it in my head like you got to do something else after this. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
that's kind of when like on my breaks I started looking into other stuff again, and I was like, yeah, bro, you gotta. One thing I knew I could still do was barbering, so I was like, all right, if I could knock that out the way and then like start focusing on other entrepreneur stuff, then that'd be solid.
And how old are you?
I turned 22. I'm like 22.
22.
Yeah, 22 and a half.
Nice. Where'd you go to barber school?
West Coast Barber College.
West
right
Coast
there,
Barber
right next to the spot. Your boy Travis.
Trav.
Yes, sir.
Trav's getting all the shout outs.
OG, bro, right there. Solid school, good program. Yeah, man. Honestly, like I couldn't thank Travis anymore for what he did for me. Like, shoot, I thought it was just gonna be barber school, but it changed my life like completely, like in way more other aspects than I thought, honestly.
So you matured a whole lot through West Coast Barber College.
Right. Because even before that, I think I was being a sloppy barber. I was just like cutting, like not caring,
Right.
But that was another reason why, like, I found out about you, and then I wasn't even actually gonna hit you up to work at Culture 2 until Travis was like, nah, just hit him up, because he kind of knew it was on my head, but I was like, nah. And I kept telling people, like, I was telling other people, like, closed mouths don't get fed, closed mouths don't get fed, because that's what he was saying, but I was like, I wasn't even, like, saying true to that, so I was like, you're right, and then, like, I hit you up, and...
Right. I think I met you at Culture 1. You had a project.
No, you met me at the barber school.
Oh, at the barber school. And
with Kenny, because I pulled up, and I was like, I was nervous, bro, because I didn't know you. I was like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know what to say. Like, hi, my name's Brian. Like, what the hell? Like, I didn't want to look dorky, you know what I'm saying? But I was like, my buddies in the back there, like, that was what was cool. Like, we all just supported each other, even as, like, students. They were like, nah, just go just go introduce yourself to him. Tell him to catch you at the showcase. Because that was my first showcase, too. And I was like, I was just trying to step out of my comfort zone. I remember I was sweating that showcase. I was like, you came up, you were like, what's up, bro? You actually pulled through. I was like, yeah, that's what's up. That's love.
Yeah. So my very first time, the very first time I remember meeting you, because I don't remember at the West Coast, but you came to Culture 1 for a project. You had a project, and
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that was after.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
My memory is bad. I smoke a lot. But I remember, Kenny's my boy and Travis is my boy. So I remember Kenny telling me, B Woods, he's cool. He can cut. You know what I mean? He smokes a lot. So. Right.
That's why I was debating if I should go up, because I had just got in trouble for that, and I was like, bro, I just smoked. I was like, Kenny's right there. He gonna be like. And I was like, oh my gosh. So that was another thing. That was another factor for sure.
Kenny will get on your head.
Yeah, for real.
So you're a teenager, you're cutting hair on the side, you're hustling or whatever the case may be. You stop barbering, get a real job. Then while you're going to barber school, were you still working? Or
wait, repeat that. You said stop barbering.
You remember you said
I stopped, like, yeah, well, yeah, like on the side.
Your bag got stolen, and then you did the couple times in jail or whatever. What was I was asking? So you went to barber school. Were you still working while you were going to barber school?
Nah, bro. See, that's the thing. Like, I was planning on it, but honestly, like, that was another way I kind of tested my clientele. I was just like, well, who's actually pulling up? And because Travis said, like, yeah, just charge them whatever you're charging at your shop and break me off, like, the $8 that I'm charging here. So that was where I was able to test my clientele, see how I was doing. And then I was going to work at I was good. I was just like cutting like after school too. Like I was cutting after school and Sunday Mondays. So I was still working at Top Notch Sunday Mondays. So
Top
I
notch
mean, it was
barbershop.
just yeah. So it was just basically like try to get it in whenever I could, regardless, and that kept me afloat. Honestly, it was pretty dope. That's why like I'm pretty like I rolled with the opportunity because I know I couldn't like fumble this opportunity because I remember when I first started cutting, like people were messing with me, and then like obviously I kind of like drifted off,
Right.
and then I see a lot of like old clients are with like a lot of like other barbers that like I've like known or I grew up that they turned into barbers, and like they'll come and go, like all clients will come and go, but it's dope to see like how some of them still like trickle in sometimes and say what's up, and like they still support me like now because they see me doing it again. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's pretty dope.
Right. And from my understanding, you have little cousins that cut hair too, right?
Yeah, too. So that was the other thing. That was actually one of the main factors I started cutting again was because shoot, we started cutting at the same time. We're all 2 years apart. So I'm 22, the other one's 20, the other one's 18, but he just turned 19. Um, so the one that was 20 when we were kids, I started chopping up, and he started chopping up probably like 3 months after. But that was the thing. Like I just left home and I just like hit the streets, and he just stayed in his garage.
Stayed in it.
Yep, consistently. So he was working at Top Notch, and when I got out the last time, like when I was like 20, I was like, I just knew he was working at Top Notch, and I was like, damn, I need to get my foot in there because it's our neighborhood barbershop. I was like, there's no way. Like I don't think they're gonna say like no, because
Right.
like we grew up going there. So, and like I know my cousin's a hard worker too. Like our uncles and my dad, I could honestly say they have a good work ethic, and I feel like that was a good quality I got from them.
That's what's up. So at 22 years old, you're influencing your younger siblings, or not siblings, but younger family to follow behind you, which is good. I salute you for going to barber school. I was 33 when I went to barber school. I had been to jail 4 or 5 times, done this, done that, bought a house, sold a house, and I had to figure out what I wanted to do. And so I salute you for figuring out what it is that you wanted to do so early. I mean, I was just telling the last guy that I interviewed that shit, I was 33 in school. I was going to school with people that was 18, 19 years old. So, I hit the ground running. That's because like, shoot, I'm behind basically. You know what I mean? So I salute you for not being behind and going at such a young age. Like I said, this is the youngest barber that I have. But he's really, really about his business. And I salute you for that. You know what I mean? You're one of the only barbers that I have that auto pays your booth rent. And I'm always explaining to the other people, like, how is this dude 21 years old and he's smart enough to put the booth rent on auto pay? And I got people that are 40 and they're coming late and coming this and half here, half now. And it's like, bro, I always say, man, B Woods is 21 years old and he's smart enough to know, let me just have it automatically taken out of my account. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Well, yeah.
what can you say, who, since you've been barbering, who can you say, or what can you say has helped you the most? I mean, I know Travis because you obviously went to his school. Kenny, that was your teacher. But since you've been a licensed barber, who can you contribute a lot of growth to?
You.
Besides me. No.
Man, like literally like I said, it's a whole environment. Like you put on for everybody else, it makes everybody else hustle. So it's like
Leading by example.
right. So
I see you got
couldn't
B
say
Woods on
much,
the
bro.
hat,
Yes, sir.
B Woods on the shoes,
The kicks.
B Woods on the shirt.
Yes, sir. Let me show the shirt.
Yes, sir.
Culture on the back. Yep.
Yep. So I will say, one thing I do encourage or try to try to teach every person that I work with is to advertise and market yourself. Because at a lot of barbershops, they don't want you to even hand out a business card. They don't want you to give out your phone number. They don't want people to have your Instagram. It's almost like they're gatekeeping. They want the clients to stay with that barbershop. Whereas me, I'm the very opposite of that. Like I almost don't want to work with people that don't want to promote themselves, because that leaves me to do the promoting. You know what I mean? So I salute you on that. Like I said, at 22 years old, to do all of that, again, I know people that, not no shots at anybody, but people that are 40 and 50 who don't promote themselves, you know what I mean? And all they do is expect for the owner of the shop to promote for them, which is not the way that barbering is going, you know what I mean?
Right.
Maybe back in the day, but it's not that now. So I salute you for that.
Yeah, like I said, like even the other day, honestly, just like you're on it like every day, but sometimes I catch myself falling behind. So like the other day when you told me, so what you about to do with these shoes? I'm like, oh shit, yeah, I need to get these out the way, bro. Cause I'd be slacking like.
Yeah, you did have them shoes and everything. I seen you put them out today. I posted it. So that leads me to another question. What else do you do besides barbering? So I know you resell shoes,
well,
right?
yeah. I try to get into reselling just recently, just because I know it's like that. There's certain type of clothes, even though it's designer, like people might say, oh, you know, like I personally don't even buy that much designer, but I know somebody's gonna buy it, so I'm like, why not buy it to resell? It's kind of more of an asset at that point. It's not a liability, because I know it could get off and it's gonna hold its value rather than like. I don't know, just like buying some other.
So you got the Bape tees, right? Bape.
Yeah, so Bape
and then
tees.
You got
I mean,
the shoes reselling.
The shoes, yeah, and then like, I mean, there's like Essential Fear of God, like other stuff that like my supplier has. So like I just whenever I have like extra money to throw around, mess around with, I'll grab some stuff, try to resell it, because I'm not big on it, but e-commerce and like stuff like that, I think that's
the way.
Yeah, right. That. And just, I mean, I got a buddy that they're into like trading stock options. That's kind of tricky too, but I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. That's kind of what I do on the side. I'm kind of into like music, not me personally, but like I've been around the scene a bit. Just kind of helping my buddy grow and stuff like that, but that's kind of other stuff I do on the side. I try not to get into it that much anymore, because you know how that lifestyle goes. So I'm kind of out the way with that, but it's still good networking for sure. So
do you have merch for sale in the works?
Or I don't, but a lot of people have been asking me, but I'm like, I'm not too sure what they want to see. So I mean, I should probably come out with something soon though.
Like I said, if you got it on you and you cut somebody's hair and they like it, why not? You know what I mean? That's kind of how I started with the clothes. It was like, I had my own face. It wasn't culture. It was just taper tage. And obviously cutting people's hair, they become a fan of yours. You know what I mean? You're like a little local rock star, but you don't make music. You just cut hair, right? Mm-hmm. So the person who loves his haircut the most, right? Oh my God, I love my haircut. Why not? Shit, if you love your haircut that much, shit, buy a shirt. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how I started. And I just kind of went crazy with it. But
yeah, so I think I'm gonna need to sit down and just brainstorm, like, because it would probably end up being like another business, right?
Yeah, another stream of income.
Yeah, so.
And you need at least seven streams of income, right, to get up there. You know what I mean? So, like I said, just start with 10 shirts. You know what I mean? Make you 10 shirts, and if don't nobody buy them, then you got 10 shirts for yourself. You know what I mean? But you know damn well somebody's gonna buy the shirts. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
Right now, I'm that's why I'm a little focused on like the following aspect, not to be like like a clout chaser, but I do want to have like the following, where I could like eventually just set up a website and then just have them go through there mostly.
Clout chaser. That I hate that word because there's some people out there that think that's what I do is clout chase. But if you're trying to put yourself out there, people got to know who you are, right? You know what I mean? So
Right.
for me, I post every single day, 10, 15 times a day. You know what I mean? And I think the people that are calling me a clout chaser or
Are the
saying,
ones I feel like. Well, let me piggyback off that. I feel like those are the people that are probably hating though, like when they see it in a different.
they have no motion.
Right.
I have a couple friends that they haven't said it to me, but you know, through the
shots.
grapevine, I've heard
Right.
Tage this and Tage that and Tage this. But those are people that don't have any motion, like they're not doing nothing. So if you're not doing anything, then the only thing left for you to do is hate. You know what I
Right.
mean,
Exactly.
or disagree, or you know what I mean. So
Yeah, that's why like I don't know. For the most part, like I try not to even like put that in my head anymore when like someone's like hating, because it comes with the game, you know what I'm
it
saying?
comes
Like,
with it.
It just is what it is.
I always say, like, for me and my page, I'm trying to inspire somebody. So if you don't get inspired, it's the opposite. Then you're hating. You know what I mean? Or it because I'm not doing like I just mentioned in my last podcast. Nipsey was like a big influence. You know what I mean, on me or on a lot of people, and you can even see he got killed by somebody who probably thought he was a clout chaser or somebody, you know, who didn't like him for. So no matter what you do, somebody's always going to hate you and people are going to love you. You know what I mean? So that's that.
Yeah, like, well, how I had that little 420 event, and like how I had spoke to you in the back, remember, while everything was going on. I was like, dang, I had like these vendors didn't pull up, and you're like, yeah, bro, it's just it is what it is. Like, just, you know, go with the flow. Like, some people are gonna support, others aren't, you know.
A lot of people aren't. A lot of people, you've heard the saying, people want to see you doing good, but never better than them. You ever heard that?
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at. Like, they'd be like, keep going, keep going, keep going. And then once they see you up here, then it's like, you know what I mean? So.
Well, cause your time starts becoming, like, people gotta understand your time just becomes like a little bit more valuable, but not I know, like, nothing disrespectful, but it's eventually you're gonna get to a point where you're harder to reach.
Exactly.
So.
And that's how you know you're coming up, because, you know what I mean, you can't be there for everybody. So why did you start barber school?
Well, for sure it was because I wanted to get back on my feet on something that was actually illegal, but it was I was always like the black sheep of my family. I wasn't really like my sisters, bro. They're like
Straight and narrow.
You're right. So when I started fumbling the bag, like, I only have two older sisters and I'm like the only boy, so I'm the youngest one. So my mom's kidneys started failing her, and that's when I was like, oh, like, I got to do something, right? And it was crazy because back then when I was trying to do music, I would like, she wouldn't even let me do music. And then when I was trying to cut hair, I would have to like cut hair when she wasn't there. Like, my grandma would cover it for me. And like, even now she doesn't even like think it's an actual job. So it's crazy, but that was one of the reasons why I started.
Same with my mom. So. Barber school, what the hell? And that's, again, I hate to keep going back to that, but that's why I have the podcast, so I can show people and tell people that barbering is a real job. You know what I mean? It's just the barbers some barbers don't treat it like
Right,
that.
right.
You know what I mean? So, and that's what I'm about. Like everybody who works with me, for me, or at Culture, I always ask them, hey, promote yourself, start your own brand, write down how much you make, because that's a big thing. If you can't tell somebody how much you made, then shit, bro, you pretty much got a hobby that pays you instead of a job. Because if you have a job, you know how much you're getting paid. So
that definitely was one of the things I learned working at your shop. I hadn't written down like any of my haircuts. Literally, I had been cutting almost like a year and a half before I had got to your shop, and I hadn't written down any haircuts. So now I can actually go back. Like since I started in December, I could see like what I made every week, every day, week, month.
there you go. And that's what I encourage. I try to get everybody that works at Culture, hey, write down how much you make. Because that's how I was able to figure out Tuesdays I'm never working again, because I don't ever make money on Tuesdays. So I'm like Chick-fil-A on a Sunday, but on a Tuesday.
Right.
I'm not doing it. Like it's bad luck for me. So I never cut hair on Tuesday for the last 5 years. So maybe when I open a new shop, maybe I'll stay open on Tuesdays. But now, you still smoke, right?
Yeah, yes I do.
Indica or sativa?
Honestly, I've always been an indica person, bro. Like I like getting slumped.
Right.
Sativa,
That's what I would
like,
say. You're getting high to get high. I don't want to get halfway high. I don't want to get high and still like. I want to be high.
Yeah.
Shit.
But shit, I'll do sativa maybe if I'm like not gonna be at the shop. Like on the day I might go on a hike or something. Shit, I might do some sativa. But if not, I'm gonna do indica for sure.
Gym life.
Gym life.
I know you hit the gym, right?
Yep.
Yep. That's another thing. Like I said, I try to encourage all the barbers to go to the gym. You got to take, mental health, your physical
I showed
health.
you my ID. My ID from, bro, that was when I was 20. That's when I got out.
Fat boy.
Hello, bro. I had hit 190.
Sanchez Mendez.
I had hit 190. I'm like 165 right now.
That's how much weight? 190 right now. Big belly. So you hit the gym. Why do you hit the gym? Like, was that an influence from Culture, or was that because I know everybody pretty much works out there? So, or was that something that you did before Culture, and you just re-picked it back up?
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
I wrestled and I did track and field. I pole vaulted, like with the stick. So
run on the thing and flip over the thing.
Right. So I was pretty active in high school, but like I said, when you're just in the streets, like, bro, ain't nobody talking about let's go work out. Everyone's just trying to kick it, smoke, like eat. But yeah, my other barbershop, bro, I would just eat. Like, we would all just go ends on food. So then when I started going to Culture, that's when I was like, damn, bro, I need to, like, start working out again. And also, it's just, like, it was just good, like, all the benefits that come with it. Obviously, your mental health, you just feel good. Your skin brightens up, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. The girls start looking at you different.
Say, that's the bitches. Right?
So
the bitches. That's how I work out. Trying to hit Oceanside Beach with my shirt off, or at least a tank top.
Yeah.
No children yet?
Nah, bro.
No children? Plan on having kids? No girlfriend?
Maybe. Nah.
No girlfriend,
That's
no
the
kids?
thing too, bro. No kids, no girlfriend.
So remember, I told y'all he was one of my most consistent barbers, and that might be why, because he don't have all the other, I ain't going to call a wife and kids bullshit, but I'm going to call it bullshit right now. You don't have all of that distraction.
No,
you know
for sure.
I mean?
That was, I mean, honestly, I think that definitely was one of the things that was distracting me too when I was younger, girls. For sure. Like, you come out of high school, you're in high school, you're just thinking about girls. Your homies are thinking about girls. They're in your ear. Yeah, what's up with this girl?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just had to separate, like, myself away from, like, guys that were just always, like, just on girls, because then
Girls,
they
girls,
like
girls.
they feel they're like codependent on girls, and it's like, bro, then they're like, it's like, I don't know, bro, it's just like, that's not it.
Like me, I want to get married and stuff one day, but I
Right.
just wanted to have,
I want to go with the flow.
yeah, I want to have me put together first, and
Right.
then
That too.
get with someone who has their self together, and then build an empire.
Right.
A lot of people, like you said, they're messed up. They don't have this or they don't have that, and then they want to go get in a relationship. It's like, bro, why do you want to get in a relationship? You're not good yourself. You got to love on yourself first,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
go get in a relationship.
And
You
there's
know what I mean?
there's a whole like there's like a whole like balance that comes to it. It's not even about the money, it's not even about the looks. It's like they have to be like, their mental has to be right. They have to know like when they're wrong, all types of stuff, like,
Right.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, shoot,
I just wanted
I'll
to
be
be
there
on
one
my
day,
shit.
but
I wanted to be on my shit and then find somebody who's on their shit. So
Yeah.
then we could be
Yeah.
the shit. You know what I mean?
that
Not,
shit.
uh,
But yeah, definitely. I mean, probably I wouldn't want to have kids ain't later than like 28, 30. But I mean, that's a pretty far stretch from now. Give myself like cool like 5 years to cut hair. Around like 27, start.
stack them funds, baby, because the kids ain't cheap, brother. Kids is not cheap.
Yeah.
If anybody's watching this, kids are not cheap. If you know the difference between assets and liabilities, kids are liabilities, and unless they can become LeBron James or you know what I mean, something like that, kids are liabilities. They're gonna cost you. So you've worked at a shop that's commission,
Right.
and you've worked at a shop with booth rent. Which one do you like the best?
Booth rent.
Huh?
Booth rent.
Booth rent, and why?
I'm literally okay. So when it was commission, I probably was paying, well, giving like the cut. It probably was like 600, and right now I'm paying 300 a week for booth rent. And I know that every single client that comes through that door, mainly, is my client. It's not the shop's client. So that's a big difference.
Nice. Damn, $600. I need to go back to commission. Nah, I've never worked in a commission based shop. Every time it was booth rent. So when I got out of barber school, I went to a shop. The owner didn't cut hair, so and he was never there, so he couldn't do
Yeah.
commission because he wouldn't know how much. I mean, he couldn't micromanage. So we just did booth rent. Oh, I did work commission at Los Panchos, right down the street. Matter of fact,
Los
I worked.
Panchos.
That was the most hair I had ever cut too. And I couldn't. I don't remember how much I gave him, but I gave him 40% of every haircut. So we went
Right,
60-40 because I
That's
didn't
what.
have.
Yeah,
a-
that's what I was doing.
Ooh,
But
that's
it's Los Panchos. I'm pretty sure.
Los Panchos.
It's
What did I
Las.
say?
It's with the A.
Los
Yeah.
Los Panchos.
I kept hearing you say that. I was like, you say Las Panchos.
Las Vegas.
Las Panchos. That's like a girl.
Okay, Los Panchos.
Los Panchos. And I also feel like barbers are, like, I get it. Speed is like, there's a difference between speed, but like also sometimes like commission barbers like downtown, they just don't care.
Moving
They
hella
chop,
fast.
they're gonna chop shop you up. So for all the clients watching, you want to pay less, you don't get what you paid for.
Right. Do you cut outside the shop? You
You
still do house calls and stuff
I
like
do.
that?
I do house calls sometimes. Specific clients. Yeah, it's like probably like in Fallbrook. I used to go down to San Diego. Cut my buddy up before his music videos. He passed away recently. Like,
Advice for any young barbers that want to be barbers coming up?
honestly, just stay consistent. That's always the key thing. Staying consistent. Making sure you stand on your own 10, like really making it known that you're a barber. I mean, to anyone you approach, to your family, friends, taking yourself serious first so that they could take you serious. That's basically About it.
Consistency.
Because if they see you every day doing it, they're gonna take you serious. You invest in your tools, they're gonna take you serious. So yeah.
Consistency is it, and that's not even only barbering. That's if you're a rapper, rap every day. If you're a basketball player, play every day.
Yep.
Whatever you decide to do it every single day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So honestly, like if you could be a barber that has his own business and brand going and or YouTube or whatever, like you could do it. Anything else, it's the same hustle. You always got to start from ground zero, but you'll work your way up for sure.
Favorite YouTube barber, or favorite Instagram barber, I should say, or couple.
Instagram barber.
Who's somebody you can go to their page and spend hours on it.
I haven't been on too many. Probably Marvy Mar, like some of the ones that give like pretty like good tips. A-Rod, like he gives like good like his acting's on point. I used to be in drama actually, so but his acting's on point. I like the way he acts. Like it's a whole skit behind his actual videos. It's not just a video.
Right.
So him, get a little bit of stuff from him. Vic Blends. If you ever want to like hear like inspirational stuff.
Very inspirational. Shout out Vic Blends.
On YouTube, I grew up watching E. Jones TV. So he was actually a garage barber, but he got sponsored by Easy Blade, and he for sure, I'm pretty sure he was making like over $100K a year, just being a garage barber. But he was really like professional about how he
went about his business.
Yeah, went about his business in his garage. So people took him serious. He was doing house calls for like Rice Gum and like some other NBA players. So that's pretty cool. And he didn't even have his license. He had been cutting for like 20 years. So that's pretty dope. He made his money off YouTube too. So
most you've ever made as a barber.
Rob the Original too. My bad.
Oh, Rob the Original.
Rob the Original. Shout out Rob the Original. His work's pretty crazy. Honestly, like he does. Yeah, a bunch of murals with everything. Oreos, rice, salt. Bro, you name it.
Dude draws with anything.
Right.
his brain is like, his brain
fire, is, like on wood, like, bro, it's crazy.
His brain is definitely crazy. He cuts on horses too.
Yeah, he'll cut on horses, dogs, designs.
He's definitely like just a true artist.
Right.
With the actual pen, he'd probably draw fucking Last Supper.
The Last Supper.
A couple of my inspirational pages. Jesus the Barber, with the
Jesus,
Gesus. He has like the blue background in the back.
Nah,
he's like super, and he uses no enhancement.
Cepeda? It's not Cepeda?
Nah, oh. Jesus, whatever, I don't know. And then a couple other pages I follow. Wall Street Trapper. He's not even a barber, but he just breaks down business and stocks and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Kelvin McNeil. Inky Johnson. Those are all pages that Inky Johnson is the guy with this paraplegic, or he ain't paraplegic, but he has his arm is he played for Tennessee and then he got hit and his arm is paralyzed pretty much. But now he's a motivational speaker. I can wake up and watch his page and be super dumbass motivated to do anything just off of him speaking.
All right.
And then couple other pages, but so most you've ever made in a day cutting hair?
500.
And
that was one of the things I was like, damn, bro, because I was like, all right, for sure, I'm good. Like I want to give you props to how you actually like smoothly like transitioned us into $300 a booth rent. So it was like with the grand opening and everything, like my numbers, like I haven't fell behind in my bills. Like it's been fine. Like it was a smooth transition, honestly. And 500, yeah, that's what. Shit, sometimes I would hit the road, come back with like 500, 1,000. So if I can make that legal, and I've only been here not even half a year, it's like shoot.
Sean, that boy, good. He hit me up the other day. It was like a Thursday or Friday or something. He said, "Bro, I made $750." I said, "He said that's the most I've ever made." Cutting hair. I said, "Yes, that's the kind of stories I want to hear." You know what I mean? Because then that lets me know, like, okay, you know, because people always hit me up and say, "Hey, how's the other shop doing?" And my answer is, I don't know. They're paying their booth rent. You know what I mean? I don't count nobody's pockets.
Right.
As long as the booth rent is being paid, they could have had a shitty week. As long as they paid their booth rent, you know what I mean? Shit, the booth rent's getting paid. But to hear that he made 7 something on, and it was like a Thursday or Friday, it's like, yes, you know what I mean? Like, shit, people are coming, and the name is getting out there.
Right. And the good thing is, like, man, there's just always gonna be a lot of people. Like, all those clients have families, so it's like you can't even be like, you know, just gonna help the shop as a whole. So if everyone plays their part, plays their role, the shop's gonna be cracking. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I always say a barbershop's only as busy as the barbers are. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if you own a barbershop and none of your barbers promote and none of them, I don't even have Instagram, it's not going to be a real busy barbershop. You know what I mean? Because it takes a team effort.
Right. And that's some of the times, like, I'm not even gonna lie, bro. There's like quite a few barbers that it's like, it's crazy. They be working at other shops and they always ask about, like, oh, how's culture? Oh, how's culture? And that was one of the things that I was just like I had heard of, like I said, I hadn't heard of culture too long, but I know of like other barbers that like knew of culture way before me, and they're like, they're just still there, like, just like they're still like, oh, how is it? But like they just got to do more too. Like, why are you asking me, bro? Like,
right.
I mean, I get it. I could tell you, bro, but you know, it also comes with like us overall. Like, it's not just the shop. Like,
I think people think that because you work at culture, you're just automatically going to make $1 million,
Right.
And that's the owner promoting. You know what I mean? And I always tell people when they see the Everybody Eats bee, you see my post when I post that. The shop could have been dead the whole damn day. You know
I know.
I mean? But the minute
that's the thing.
The
bro.
minute that everybody is cutting hair, it's my job as the owner to advertise my shop. You know what I mean? So I'll take a picture and say Everybody Eats. But I stress to people, you don't never see Everybody Eats be 10 times a day on one day, because it's not that busy. You know what I mean? That's just me advertising. It's kind of like when you go to McDonald's.
To me,
You're gonna get the big. Are you gonna get the Big Mac that's on the window?
Right.
Hell no.
Nah,
Your Big Mac's gonna look nothing like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's advertising.
it's like the clients that walk in with the picture, like, can I look like this? It's like, bro, you want the enhancements? You gonna look at the paint on your forehead, like,
right.
ooh.
Yeah, I hate that.
It's like rappers, bro. They sell you their image, like, that's all it is. Like,
he doesn't own that Maserati. He doesn't own that chain. That's not a real Rolex. But you know, the immature mind is just, oh, I want that, and that's kind of why I started rapping. You know what I mean? That's why it was so easy for me to stop rapping, because it was like, I'm in this for the money and the money only. Like, I don't have love for rap. I don't, you know what I mean?
Right.
And once I figured out, like, damn, I'm not gonna get to that point that I think that I was gonna get to. It was, I just cut it off. Like, shoot, and that's why I emphasize I made more money cutting hair in 1 year than 8 years of doing music. And we traveled to Pennsylvania, New York, all over, Houston, Virginia, doing music, and I still made more money cutting hair in one single year than goddamn 8 years of music. And so I feel like if more people are transparent like this, then it might change somebody, you know, that 16-year-old kid who thinks he's about to become fucking Jeezy or somebody. Like, bro, no,
right.
Go to
and
barber
then
school.
Like, it's all the behind the scenes, bro. Once they get to that point, then next thing you know, you just hear they got knocked off the board, and it's like everybody's like, oh, how? It's like, bro, you didn't see all the stuff he was doing behind the scenes, all that grimy stuff. That shit'll catch up too for that lifestyle, for sure.
Some tips to becoming a 6-figure barber. You already said staying consistent, right? Any
Yeah,
more?
just being able to hustle anything, honestly. Like, if you could hustle your haircut, just hustle anything because guaranteed, like, all right, once you hit six, what you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta still make more money because if you wanna hit six and then live in a mansion and drive a, like you said, a Maserati, bro, like,
You could do more
that's
than
all.
six.
Yeah, you gonna need to be working 6 years of six figures to pay that off. So yeah, just figuring out other ways to make income, and it's like you could do a lot of things. Like, bro, people sell everything, and the thing is, it's all at the like tip of your like, you know, it's all on your phone. Like, you could look that up on Google how to make more money doing other things, like literally anything.
Do you
Shit.
still watch YouTube for
Yeah.
like barbering?
Oh, for barbering, I haven't as much recently, but it's more because you know how like everyone's more on like the shorter reels, like all
Mm-hmm.
that stuff. So I mean, those kind of get by a little faster, so I'll watch more of those.
Uh, where can they find you?
On Instagram, B Woods the Barber. It's spelled BW00DZ THABARBER. I think I spelled it wrong. I don't know.
B Woods the barber
The
with a
Barber.
Z and no O's, just zeros.
Yeah, yeah.
Got you. Um, the biggest thing that'll kill you in the barber's industry is what?
Um,
Or not the biggest. Some things that will
some
kill
other
you
things.
in the
Yeah,
barber.
yeah, yeah. Not being there when your client's there.
Not being consistent.
Um, hmm Punctuality.
Falls up under consistency. Stop. I'll add one in there.
Oh.
Learning. Never
Oh,
never
yeah,
stop
yeah.
learning.
Yep, right.
Right.
Staying
So-
closed-minded.
The guy who got me into barbering, again, I hate to keep bringing my cousin up, but he couldn't cut white people's hair. Like, he was only strictly a black barber. Like, he couldn't do Mexicans, he couldn't do whites. I mean, at one point in time, barbering was like that. Like, all the Mexicans
Right.
go to this shop, all the black people go to this shop. And so, you know, as it got a little bit more diverse, he kind of fell off because, you know, he was embarrassed pretty much that, dang, you know, every time a white person came in, he was going to eat lunch. You know what I mean? Like, I can't do it. So never stop learning. And then for me, I would say the biggest killer in barbering would be self-doubt, doubting yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like Nipsey said, that's the very first thing you got to do is get rid of self-doubt, which I did a lot. Because remember, like I told you, I went to school with 18, 19-year-olds, and here I am, 33 years old. It's like, man, I don't know. but I knew I couldn't go back to jail again.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and I've never been back since. So,
Yeah.
thank God for that. You got stickers. You got
Yeah.
merch. You've got logos. You've got a page. You got YouTube?
I have a YouTube channel. Yes. I told you this. I had lost 76 subscribers on like a different channel. So I mean, I just have this one, but I haven't put out any videos. I'm looking for somebody. So anybody, anybody?
And then you also on your page, I seen you do classes or you do one-on-one.
Yeah. So I put that in my bio because I have a lot of like young barbers DM me on Instagram, and they're always like asking like I said, like it's dope like to see how I could inspire other people. I don't really talk about it too much on Instagram, but like I definitely have quite a few young barbers. High school kids are always asking me like, "Oh, what do you think about this product?" And then like it starts like that. Sometimes it's just like, "Oh, the product you use in their hair, the way you did their haircut." They'll be like, because I know that's how I started. Some guy did my haircut. I was like, "Wow," you know what I'm saying? And I was like, "Damn, I want to cut hair a little bit." And yeah, they just ask me like what kind of tools should I use, whoop de wop, and I'm just like I just let them know. Like right now, I've been doing like literally like telling people like, yo, if you pull up, like I'll just watch me, bro. Like you can shadow me,
Shadow, yeah.
ask me questions, because once I start like getting a couple more like a rapport like at culture with like events, just like doing little stuff like that, that's when I'll probably start like doing like classes and charging. So yeah,
Yeah,
right now I'm just kind of like building that.
Bethel does that a lot. Like
Right.
I remember when I worked at Culture One, there would be like one day it was like 6 little Mexican dudes, and it wasn't a class. It was just they all came to watch dude
Yeah.
cut hair, and I was like, damn, that's dope. That's actually dope. That he's inspired. I'm inspiring him. He's inspiring others, and that's kind of
Right.
each one teach one.
Yeah,
That's
it's
where
a
that comes from.
Chain reaction.
Yeah. So
It's like what was that? There's like that movie where it's like man, I don't know what it's called, bro, but somebody gives like a little boy a note, and it's like he has to like inspire like 3 people, so all 3 of those people can inspire 3 people, and it's just like I don't know, I forgot what that movie
snowball
is called.
effect.
Right.
I don't know what movie it is, but that's what that is. Snowball effect. I teach you, you teach that person, and so on and so forth. Shout out Asia, because Asia is teaching my daughter how to braid. And just the other day, my daughter was braiding, and somebody came by, and the little girl, they had a little girl, and the little girl was asking Kaya how to braid. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like what you were just saying, trickled down, and maybe that little girl will become a cold ass braider, and she'll teach somebody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's my whole goal for the podcast, is like to show people, like, damn, dude was left in the hospital, mom on drugs, you know, this, that, and still made it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Yeah.
there's no excuse for real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can be,
It's a mindset.
yeah.
Just take it how you want it. Like recently, especially, like I said, like just trying to do good. I feel like there's a lot of backlash from my past. So, like just doing good, like there'd be people that kind of like, I don't know, like, I just kind of learned how to take like people's like when they come at me wrong, I was just kind of like brushing it off now, like instead of like feeling too hurt about like how certain things were like happening. I don't know.
can't take shit too personal.
Yeah, right. Shout out to Futuristic. You can find them on Instagram. I believe it's FUTURIS. Bro, I have to write this down. I want to give a shout out to Futuristic for making my shoes.
Them shits is hard.
Customize them, custom Air Forces. So, yeah. You get that.
And this comes off, right?
Yeah, it's a Velcro. So you could push that around, different swooshes. I'm
Them
saying.
shits is hard. Be wood.
Boy slapped yes sir.
Them shits is hard.
So shout out to Futuristic for creating these shoes, these custom B wood shoes. Yeah, painted the back, burnt the tips. You can find them on Instagram at FUTURISTIK_03. And shout out my cousins Danny and Jorge Pina and Top Notch Barbershop for giving me my first opportunity to get back on my feet.
Yes, sir. So we're gonna wrap it up. We got B Woods, the barber, in the house from Culture 2. Like I said, you can find him there. He's there, 6 days a week?
7.
7? Sheesh.
The days I
Hey,
take
wait.
off is a little random. That's why it's like I just go with the flow, bro. I work every day until like I know mentally in my head I'm like, yeah, bro, you need to feel me?
Take a day.
Yeah, you need to chill.
So you can walk in on them. You can book them by appointment.
Right, I'm on Booksy on Instagram, link in my bio. So yeah.
And also he has. You want to let him know your shoes? Your shoes is there.
Oh yeah, I got shoes and I got shoes and clothes for resale at the barbershop. If you want to get Bape tees, Essential Fear God, hoodies, and yeah, Bape hoodies. Let me know. Jordans, shoot.
There it is. There, B Woods the barber, taper Tage.
Appreciate you, brother, for having me. Thank you.
And that's it for Tell 'em Tage. Y'all keep growing.